What's the real reason you're single? I'm uglier than my inappropriately high standards. I suck at starting conversations. I enjoy talking and don't think I'm too socially awkward, but I just don't like being the one to start. And maybe no one finds me attractive either. Lol. Are you me? Pretty much same. I try to make conversation about the most random stuff, but it doesn't materialize and ultimately it fizzes out. Sigh. I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. The carpenter I hired to help me restore an old farmhouse had just finished a rough first day on the job. A flat tire made him lose an hour of work, his electric saw quit, and now his ancient pickup truck refused to start. While I drove him home, he sat in stony silence. On arriving, he invited me in to meet his family. As we walked toward the front door, he paused briefly at a small tree, touching the tips of the branches with both hands. After opening the door, he underwent an amazing transformation. His tanned face was wreathed in smiles and he hugged his two small children and gave his wife a kiss. Afterward, he walked me to my car. We passed the tree, and my curiosity got the better of me. I asked him about what I had seen him do earlier. "Oh, that's my trouble tree," he replied. "I know I can't help having troubles on the job, but one thing for sure, troubles don't belong in the house with my wife and the children. So I just hang them up on the tree every night when I come home. Then in the morning, I pick them up again. Funny thing is," he smiled, "when I come out in the morning to pick them up, there aren't nearly as many as I remember hanging up the night before. I am unable to make the first move. Some kind of fear prevents me from doing it. I wait too long and lose the girl and heartbreak ensues. I'd give anything to break this shitty cycle." Edit. Thank you for all the advice. I've read every one of your comments. I'll follow the 3 seconds rule, not just for love but for everything else too. I won't fear rejection anymore, cause what have I got to lose, right? Can't be worse than I already am. Moments like these why I like Reddit sometimes. Cheers lads. BTW The Flinch, thanks to the lad who suggested it, is a great read and I recommend it. I'm at the same pace as you, brother. I feel like every single girl I liked I just lost her because I just waited for them to show something. Every single time I waited too long and they moved on with their life and got a guy with an actual ballsack that could just say what I couldn't. My high standards and lack of a social life. As soon as I start to like someone, I go crazy and then self-sabotage hard. I've seen lots of friends do this, either come on too strong, obsess, or go cold. Have you tried self-help or therapy? To work through it. What do you mean by go cold? I feel like that's kind of me. As soon as I tell someone I'm interested, it's like I can't be myself at all anymore. Is that a common thing? So I can't speak for everyone on this, but this is how it worked for me. I had very bad childhood, and was constantly looking for affection from people who just did not give it. So most of my life I didn't want attention from people who would give it to me freely, and if I liked someone when I wanted that affection I would think less of them for giving it to me. Thankfully I am working through it and am no longer like this. No one wants me. I don't like going to restaurants by myself, so I would be satisfied with someone that would just eat with me. Social anxiety. I'm a pretty bad boyfriend, to be honest. I get tired of people and want to be left alone for long periods of time. That's not great for relationships. Mix that with some trust issues and well, at least I got my hand. Yeah, I'm great on paper and a decent person I think. But not a good boyfriend, husband. Not abusive, but lose affection and would rather be doing my hobbies. I have a friend who says she'd make a terrible wife for exactly these reasons. I firmly believe there's someone out there for everyone. Maybe someone like her, mixed with someone like you, and maybe you have the same weird hobbies. You'll figure it out. My mom says that even as a little girl I would play with others for a bit, but then come in by myself, head to my room alone, and just be. I married a pilot, so I get to have a part-time husband, but also the alone time I need. No kids. Not totally on purpose, but we never wanted them badly enough to follow up on why they weren't arriving. Probably for the best, due to me getting overpeopled. Trust issues, and I honestly would rather not be in a relationship anymore. I have no idea how to flirt / I'm not attractive enough for others to initiate. I like being single. I like the peace and quiet of it. Sometimes, someone outweighs the benefits of that, but usually, not. Why are you not single? Because my wife died and I'll probably never meet anyone as amazing as her. My partner of 10 years passed away last year. I know what you mean. There is a lot of nuance just in moving forward through life without even considering dating again. I have had a few people clearly hint they would date me if I ever felt like it one day. I don't think that's ever going to happen though. Kind of just broken and fine with that. I'll have new adventures that don't revolve around being in a relationship. I wish you the very best. That truly sucks. That search to find your new normal can be soul-crushing. Please be good to yourself and look out for number 1. It's all about you now. Do exactly what you need to do to somehow keep on. I wish you all the best. My self-confidence is at an all-time low after my previous girlfriend. It's been almost 2 years and I'm still not in the mood for another relationship. Edit. Wow, I didn't think this comment would get so much traction, and that so many people relate to my situation. Stay strong, friends. In no particular order. Waited too long to get started. I'm now at an age where most of my peers are coupled and raising kids. Having never been on a date or experienced any kind of romantic intimacy at this point is shameful, and I can't imagine anyone accepting me if they knew this. Oh, did I mention my hair is going gray from head to toe? That's distressing. Self-esteem / dependency issues. I was very sensitive to teasing when I was younger and struggled to fit in living in an affluent, white, Christian suburb. It's made me a naturally quiet and introverted person who's hesitant to speak up / out, even when I always dreamed of being the life of the party, or just being invited to a party. Not to mention that I grew up with an absent father and absent-minded mother who prevented me from being independent and taking control of my life when I was a young adult. I now fear moving out and being on my own, and likely never will. Lack of friends. The few friends I've made in the past 10 to 15 years were ultimately just using me for something, and once they got that something, I never heard from any of them again. It's like people could sense that I was naive and eager for any scrap of interaction, and they took advantage of it. It's made me guarded and slightly distrusting of people. Even though I desperately crave friendship, I haven't got a clue where I can go to meet sincere people at this stage of life. Depression. All of this has completely crushed my spirit and will to live. I now spend weekends in bed. I haven't filed my taxes in years and I'm past due on a few bills. I stopped exercising a few months ago. I think about killing myself every day and cry on a regular basis. I don't know how to continue, and I would truly be grateful to die. I remember being a teenager and wondering when I'd meet that person and have my first kiss, my first relationship, my first heartbreak, etc. Every year I'd ask myself, is this the year? That time has passed and I now realize it's gone. I very recently came to terms with this very reality you have shared with us. However, I think being positive is important. I grew up living in a hospital. I had cancer twice and it ate up my entire childhood. I took 12 years after my last course of treatment to realize that some of my problems aren't my fault. Everyone's life has complexities, and even though some things never seem to happen to us, it doesn't mean they never will. Being positive is important. I decided to confront my issue head-on. I reached out to anyone who would listen. To my surprise, I got some support. I felt better. It wasn't enough, but it was the first step to helping myself. I saw a psychologist last week, and if someone told me I'd be someone to see one, I'd never have believed them. But it helped. Now my outlook is more positive. I am starting to believe in myself for the first time in my life. It's all thanks to reaching out to someone and confiding information that you'd never otherwise put out into the world. I'm going to join a gym, I'm shaving my facial hair, I'm cleaning up my act a bit. I feel better because of it and you'll feel even better after I join the gym. I, like you, waited. You can't wait anymore, no one is coming, I can promise you that. But people will meet you halfway, but only if you try. Give it a shot, man. Everyone has problems but fewer people try to solve them. Wish you all the best. Because I can't seem to believe that any man would want a woman like me. So I just bury myself in work and focus on getting degrees instead. Not pretty. Boring. Too busy. Not interested. High expectations. I am extremely scared to hurt another person. Also by that I'm not willing to be vulnerable, to open up. After few relationships I'm scared of my own energy and how intense can I be. I know that someday I'll have to open up and I'm sure it's coming, but I'm not ready and I want to work on my career and skills. Because my wife won't allow me to date anymore. I've always found this to be a bit of an odd question. Why is anyone single? Because they haven't found the right person yet. People don't just have a partner by default. It takes a considerable amount of effort, the right circumstances and often an extreme amount of luck to find someone compatible enough to enter into a relationship with. If you listen to couples' stories about how they met, it's often in the craziest and most unlikely circumstances. And even then, there's no guarantee it will last, and if it doesn't, it's back to square one. Do you have anything to add? Leave a comment. And subscribe to this channel if you want to see more same videos.